It's me again. Hello, hello, hello. Kamusta ang ating first day of classes? Masaya ba tayong lahat? Diba, nakikita na natin yung ating mga classmates. Ang gaganda, ang gagwapo, diba? Pwede na! So, thank you so much, no, for watching our first video lesson. And now, we are on our part 2 of our lesson 1 for General Mathematics. It's me, your teacher, Thea. And now, simulan na natin. These are learning reminders for today. Prepare your pen and paper to jot down or practice on solving. Take your time. Pause if needed. Resume whenever you're ready. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. It means you are trying. Don't be too hard on yourself. Learning is a gradual process. These are the learning objectives. After the 2 video lessons, the learners will be able to understand the concept of functions and its representations and represent real-life situations using functions, including piecewise functions. So, nandito na tayo sa ating part 2, which is functions as representations of real-life situations, including piecewise functions. So, brief review muna. We have discussed last video lesson the ways to represent function. So, meron tayong function as a set of ordered pairs, function as table of values, function as mapping diagram, function as graph in a Cartesian plane, and for this video lesson, function as representation of real-life situations, including piecewise functions. So, for this part, usually gumagamit na tayo ng equations. Functions as representations of real-life situations. Functions are often used to represent real-life situations. Identifying an appropriate functional model will lead to a better understanding of various phenomena. So usually in this topic, parang gagawa lang tayo ng formula para makuha kung ano yung hinihingi sa ating problem. So dapat needed dito ang ating deep understanding. So example na agad tayo para mas maintindihan na natin. Okay, the first problem is that we have to give a function c that can represent the cost of buying X meals if one meal costs 40 pesos. So, ang solution natin, since each meal costs 40 pesos, then the cost function is function c of x, or the cost in terms of the number of meals. Ito, x meals equals 40 times the number of meals, or 40x. Okay, so further understanding muna. We use this function to know how much it costs when you buy x number of meals. So remember ha, this is a function c representing the cost of buying x meals, or x natin kung ilang meals yung bibilhin. If one meal costs 40 pesos. So, let's give it a try. This is our function now. C of x equals 40x. Question, how much will I pay if I buy 3 meals? So, ilan yung babayaran ko kapag bibili ako ng 3 meals? Okay, so let us use our function. Since x is equal to 3, remember that our x is the number of meals, right? Tapos, nandito sa ating question na we buy 3 meals. So, x equals to 3. Therefore, c of 3, so napapansin natin yung x natin dito, naging 3 na siya. Kasi 3 yung given sa ating question. C of 3 is equal to 40 times 3. So, bakit naging 3 dito? Kasi dito sa ating function, 40x, yung x natin ay equal to 3. Since we are buying 3 meals. So, therefore, I will pay 120 pesos. So, ayan, alam na natin kung ilan yung babayaran natin kapag bumili tayo ng 3 meals. Okay, what else? Question number 2, how much will I pay if I buy 5 meals? So, ayan, gagamitin na naman natin tong function na to. So, remember that our x is the number of meals. Therefore, x is equal to 5. C of 5 is equal to 40 times 5. Therefore, I will pay 200 pesos. So, ayan. Okay, ito yung main function or ito yung pinaka-purpose ng functions as representation in real-life situations. Kasi parang ginagawan lang natin siya ng formula para makuha yung desired answer. Okay, so let us have another example. A person is earning 600 pesos per day in a job. Express total salary S as a function of the number of N days he worked. Ang isang tao daw ay magkakaroon ng 600 pesos bawat araw sa isang trabaho. So, ayan, magkano daw yung salary niya depending on the number of days na magtatrabaho siya. Okay, solution. Okay, just like before, parang ganito lang. S of N or the salary in terms of the N number of days is equal to 600 times the number of days. No? Kung ilang days siya magtatrabaho. Kasi 600 per day. Most likely, multiplication gagamitin natin. Okay. So, how do we apply this function? Okay, question number 1. How much is the salary after working for 4 days? So, meron tayong given dito na 4 days. So, ano nga ba itong si 4? Remember na itong si 4 ay ang ating number of days. So, ito yung ating N. Ito yung ipapalit natin dito sa ating N. So, solution. Since N is equal to 4, so S of 4 or the salary for 4 days is equal to 600 times 4 days. So, we have 2,400. So, sa 4 na araw na nagtatrabaho ang isang tao, meron siyang 2,400. Let's try problem number 3. Sheila is earning 450 pesos after 3 hours of cleaning the house of Mrs. Yap. An additional 50 pesos per hour for looking after Mrs. Yap's child. Express Sheila's total salary S, including the time H spent for taking care of the child in a day. Si Sheila ay nagtatrabaho ng 3 hours for cleaning the house at meron siyang salary or sweldo na 450 pesos. After niyang maglinis, babantayan pa niya yung anak ni Mrs. Yap at yung bayad sa kanya per hour ay 50 pesos. Magbibigay daw tayo ng function kung saan malalaman natin kung ilan yung salary or sweldo ni Sheila using the function S. Itong si S, itong salary natin, including the time H. Dapat daw nating makuha yung function kung saan malalaman natin kung magkano ang sweldo ni Sheila in terms of the time or in terms of the number of hours na nagugol niya sa pag-aalaga ng bata sa isang araw. So, meron na tayong given dito, no, na 450 and 50 pesos. So, paano natin siya i-arrange sa ating function? Ito yung ating sagot. We have the function S of H or the salary in terms of the number of hours for taking care of the child equals 450. Okay, so san galing tong 450 dito sa ating cleaning the house? The salary for cleaning the house, 450. Plus, yung additional niya, 50 times per hour na nag-alaga siya ng child. So, that's why S of H equals 450 plus 50 times H. Yung H, ito yung oras na ginugol niya para mag-alaga sa bata. Okay. So, let's try this function. Okay, question number 1. How much is the salary if she spent 2 hours taking care of the child? Let's assume na given na tapos na siya magtrabaho for 3 hours, so meron na siyang 450. Or ilan yung sweldo niya after taking care of the child for 2 hours. So, what is the solution now? Since H is equal to 2, ano nga dito yung H? Ito yung number of hours spent taking care of the child. So, H is equal to 2. So, we have S of 2. So, substitute lang natin si H naging 2. Equals 450 plus 50 times 2. Ito yung H natin. Atin lang i-perform yung operations. We have S of 2 equals 450 plus 100. Itong si 100 galing dito sa 50 times 2. Then we have 450 plus 100. Therefore, we have 550. So, ang sweldo niya sa isang araw ay 550. Ayan, napakadali lang, no? Dapat talaga nating ma-analyze or ma-understand muna kung ano yung problema before tayo susunggab. Okay, now let us proceed to piecewise function. So, ito na yung medyo mahirap. Okay, some situations can only be described by more than one formula depending on the value of the independent variable. So, at this point, we are dealing with more than one formula. Sa previous examples natin, isang formula lamang. So, dito, 2 or more. Ayan, let us have our first example. A chocolate bar costs 35 pesos per piece. So, bawat isa ng chocolate bar, tag 35 pesos. If you buy more than 10 pieces, if sobra sa 10 yung bibilhin mo, the price will be marked down to 32 na lang siya, 32 pesos. Use a piecewise function f of n to represent the cost in terms of the number of chocolate bars bought. So, ang hahanapin natin or ibibigay natin na function ay function f to represent the cost or yung babayaran in terms of the number of chocolate bars which is represented by n. Okay, so ilan daw yung babayaran natin depending on ilang chocolate bars yung bibilhin. So, let's have our solution. Please observe the format ha. Ganito dapat isulat yung ating piecewise function. So, we have f of n or the function natin or the cost in terms of the number of chocolate bars bought equals, we have our brace. Our first function is 35n. So, saan galing si 35n? Basahin muna natin yung condition niya ha. Ito yung condition. If n is greater than 0 or less than or equal to 10. Kapag yung n daw natin or yung number of chocolate bars na binili natin ay less than or equal to 10 or greater than 0. Meaning, kapag bumili tayo ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chocolate bars, ito yung gagamitin natin na function 35n. Itong pangalawang function natin, we have 32n. So, saan naman galing itong si 32n? Okay, dito siya sa condition na if you buy n greater than 10. Okay, so saan galing itong si n greater than 10? Let us go back to our problem. We have, if you buy more than 10 pieces, the price will be marked down to 32 piece. Parang wholesale price. Naging 32n siya. Ang condition niya, n is greater than 10. So, ayan, let's try these functions. Okay, this is our function now. And we have our question number 1. How much will I pay if I bought 7 chocolate bars? Okay, bumili ako ng 7 chocolate bars. Saang function dito yung gagamitin natin? Saan sa dalawa, itong 35n or itong 32n. So, tignan natin yung condition natin. Okay, yung ating n dito or the number of chocolate bars is 7, di ba? Saan siya swak? Dito siya sa condition na dito. Since 7 is less than 10. Since dito siya papasok na condition, ang gagamitin na function ay ito, 35n. So, ito yung solution natin ngayon. Since n is less than 10, okay, we use f of n equals 35n. So, parang yung kanina, gagawin lang natin, mag-substitute tayo ng values. Yung n natin naging 7. So, since ito yung given natin, f of 7 is equal to 35 times 7. Okay, so we have 35 times 7 equals 235. So, ito yung babayaran natin, 235 pesos. Teacher, paano naman kapag bumili ako ng 12 chocolate bars? Okay, so kung bumili ka ng 12 chocolate bars, tignan mo yung conditions dito. Saan ba siya swak? Pwede siya dito sa n is greater than 10. So, therefore, gagamitin mo itong function na to, 32n. So, ayan, wag lang tayong malito. Tignan lang natin yung conditions. Okay? Okay, let's understand this one. A user is charged 250 pesos monthly for a particular prepaid mobile plan, which includes 500 free text messages. So, sa 250 pesos na babayaran natin, meron na siyang 500 free text messages. Excess messages or yung sobrang messages are charged 1 peso each. Okay, represent the monthly cost for text messaging using the function C of M, where M is the number of messages sent in a month. So, magbibigay daw tayo ng function C representing the monthly cost na babayaran natin depending or in terms of the number of messages sent. So, itong number of messages sent is our M. Okay, what is now our function? Our solution or our function for this one is we have C of M, or the cost in terms of the number of messages sent is equal to our brace. Okay, meron lang tayong dalawang functions, dalawang conditions. We pay 250 if M is greater than 0 but less than or equal to 500. So, kapag yung messages mo ay 500 pababa, ang babayaran mo ay 250. Kahit isang message lang yung nasend mo, 250 pa rin yung babayaran mo. Kasi, prepaid mobile plan nga siya. Tapos, meron 500 free text messages. So, kahit maubos mo man yan o hindi, 250 babayaran mo. Okay. So, our next function is we have 250 plus 1 times M minus 500. Okay, explain natin saan nanggaling to. Itong pangalawang function natin, ang condition natin dito ay if yung message mo ay nag-exceed sa 500 or mas malaki sa 500. Halimbawa, nag-message ka ng sobra 500. Halimbawa, 550 or 600 messages. So, we use this function. Okay, saan galing to? 250 means ito na yung 500, yung first 500 na na-send mo. Plus, meron tayong condition dito, di ba? Excess messages are charged 1 peso each. Excess meaning yung sobra. So, we have plus 1 peso times quantity M minus 500. Bakit M minus 500? Itong si M, yung actual number of messages mo, minus 500. Okay, nag-minus tayo ng 500 kasi si 500 dito, nabayaran mo na dito sa 250. Kaya i-minus mo na siya. No, ang babayaran mo na lang additionally ay yung excess o yung sobra. Let's check nga or let's have an example para maintindihan natin ito. This is now our function. Okay, question. How much will the user pay if he sent 550 messages in a month? Okay, what function will we use? Okay, let's look at the condition. So, pasok siya dito sa condition na to. Therefore, we use this function 250 plus 1 times M minus 500. Okay, try nga natin. Since M is greater than 500, we use C of M or the cost of M equals 250 plus, substitute lang natin, no? 1 times ating M, naging 550. Since ito yung given natin. 550 minus 500. So, ayan. Next. C of 550 equals 250 plus. Ayan. So, nakuha na natin yung excess number of messages niya, diba? Meron tayong 50 excess. So, itong 50 excess messages or yung sobrang messages, ito yung imumultiply natin sa piso. Ayan. So, 1 times 50. Ganyan lang. Tapos, calculate lang natin. 250 plus 1 times 50, we have 300 pesos. So, ito yung babayaran niya. Ayan, I hope marami po tayong natutunan for today, no? So, kung meron po tayong questions about general mathematics, feel free to comment or you can send a message. Please do like and share our posts and video lessons para makatulong rin po sa iba. So, our next video lesson is all about evaluating functions and scroll lang po tayo, makikita na natin dun sa ating page. Thank you so much po and see you on our next video lesson. Bye!